broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey everybody, I'm Steve Kaufmann here for AFTERBUZZ TV. This is another edition of Modern Family, the after show for Modern Family, Season 6, Episode 15. If you're listening to me on YouTube live, thank you so much. We'll be checking you out on the comments. If you're listening to me live, but some other way, or you're just on Twitter, hashtag ABTV Modern Fam is the way to deal with us. And if you're listening to me after we are live, still feel free to use that hashtag. And be sure to rate us on iTunes and rate us and review us on SoundCloud. And now that I've talked the room to death, I'd like to introduce everyone to our panel.
What's going on, guys? I'm Nicholas Grava, and you can find me at Nicholas Grava on Twitter.
Hey guys, I'm Carli Carsow, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Carli_Garsow.
And I'm Britta Garsow, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Britta_Garsow.
And I'm Steve Kaufmann, that's at Steve Kaufmann, Kaufmann. And we wait for them to say stuff, right?
Let's see, what are they? Let's hear what they
I got
say.
nothing, so Sheila says it's time in all caps.
Sheila, welcome. Hi, Sheila.
It's time. We're doing this. The name of this episode is Fight or Flight. It's a very aptly named episode. I loved it. Really,
they always have clever names for their episodes. It's really good.
Well-named episodes on the show. And we start out. We're at the airport. Phil and Claire. They're at the front desk, and only one person can get bumped up to first class. Mm-hmm. And Claire takes it without asking Phil at all.
Rightfully so. You know what? If I'm at the front of the line and they say there's one first class, I am going to push everyone aside and say, thank you. Yeah. You know, where's my seat? I'm all about that.
Plus, I feel like Phil is the type of husband that would be like, here, honey. Like,
he would never take it over her.
No.
Oh, Phil would have absolutely given it to her.
Yeah. So maybe she just assumed.
But he probably felt a little slighted. Well, he flat out said he felt very slighted that she... Ooh, I did a pun there. I didn't even realize it first. But she felt...
Steve.
Phil probably felt very slighted that she didn't even think to ask him. Although he would have gladly given it to her.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
And at first, it seems like Phil is having a standard coach experience. He gets hit in the forearm with a bag. And then he has to sit next to a larger gentleman. Mm-hmm. And he's in row
That's the nightmare. First of all, being in the middle seat. I panic being in the middle seat at all, but like having like a different.
Have you guys had like issues on airplanes? I don't think I've ever had a huge issue sitting by someone.
Either.
I had someone that had some body odor going on, and I didn't know how to do. Like, how do you deal with that?
You can't do anything.
Airplanes for me don't seem to be a problem. It's buses. I take buses from time to time, and like long trailways buses. You'll run into that a lot, where just somebody will just smell like they haven't showered in days because
probably haven't.
They're taking a bus from San Jose to Los Angeles. They probably haven't showered in days. Mm-hmm. Who am I to judge them in their lives?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm also on the spotlight.
Yeah.
And then, but I mean, everything ended up working out for him because he had some magic tricks going on beside him, which we had an unbelievable. I didn't know we were gonna get a guest appearance.
We get Penn Jillette.
Yeah,
I know.
That's amazing.
Penn and Delaware.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys ever watched Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Oh,
yes.
He was awesome on Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yes, I did.
I love his character Drell. Yeah. It's so good. So it like brought me back to those days when he was a guest star and he was on TV all the time.
Do you know they're making a movie of Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
Another one?
I'm fairly sure. No, I'm not making.
Is that really a
Google.
thing?
I'm telling you. Besides the fact we'll talk about that later.
Okay, yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
I don't want to derail the whole show. With
me neither.
I don't want the whole show be me and going into a Google fit of who's writing it and how I know that person. How I can become a writer's assistant on that movie. Phil loves magic.
Yeah, so sitting next to the right
Did
person.
anybody catch Penn Jillette's name on this episode?
Edward?
Edward
Yes,
sounds right.
that's right.
Because I initially
right.
wrote Penn Jillette, flying coach. That doesn't. Penn Jillette doesn't fly coach.
Penn Jillette doesn't
Yeah.
fly coach. No, he doesn't.
But it's like, oh no, he's playing a different character that just happens to be a magician. Phil loves magic. Oh my god, this is amazing. Oh wait, the big gentleman to Phil's left.
In the wrong seat.
In the wrong seat, got 6s and 9s
Relief.
confused.
Imagine that relief.
I've
Oh
done
my
that.
gosh.
I've gotten 6 and 9 confused.
Yeah.
They're the, like, especially if you're like,
Oh, they are.
well, no, because you're like you're on an airplane and like you're holding your ticket upside down, or like
Yeah.
I don't know. People who
Yeah.
are spatially minded tend to get those numbers that look similar wrong. Like 6, 8, and 9.
Yeah.
They're all pretty much an 8.
I usually get confused, like the A, B, or C. I'll be like in A, and then they're like, "Oh, you're B," and I'm like, "What?
Because you
You're
never
what?"
know what the structure of the plane's going to
Yeah.
be like till you get on
Oh,
it.
yeah.
You don't know how the roads are going to be. It's confusing. I hate it.
I fly Southwest, guys.
I've
you
never
just gotta
flown
get there.
Southwest.
You just gotta
get
get
on-
there first, and
Wow.
you get to sit wherever you want.
It's nice.
That's an interesting way to do it. And then he was lucky enough to sit next to a masseuse.
I know.
I want that on a
But it
plane.
was like she was like constantly massaging him, like she's doing this for free. I was so
Yeah, that's true. It's a little weird.
I would never do that for free, like the whole plane ride.
It's like a singer sitting next to me, like, "Let me serenade you to sleep because I'm a
Yeah,
singer." It's like, no, I don't
exactly.
think so.
She seemed like a nice lady.
No, she was nice.
Yeah, real
Just-
nice.
Little unrealistic.
Speaking of nice ladies, Claire, really nice lady. Natasha. Wow.
I love Claire, but I wouldn't classify
Let
her
the
as,
truth come out.
Super nice.
In her own way.
Yeah,
But
in
I
her
definitely see the side of it for sure, too.
Comedian Natasha Leggero playing.
Oh, that's her name. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. She's
What was-
she's so
She
funny.
is the mistress to a senator.
Yeah. And then she never said what she did for a living, though. Why she
No.
had so
That
much
is
money.
that is
Yeah.
a profession.
Why does she have
don't think
all the
you're
fur
aware.
coats and
Sounds
doing
like a lot of
everything?
work.
That is a lot of work.
That's
But she's sitting next to Claire in first class. And it all starts out very nice, and then it goes downhill the second she picks up her phone and just starts berating her gardener.
Yeah, Claire called
So
her
good.
the racist cheese eater.
yeah.
That's
But
awesome.
she
Yeah.
looked real good. I wouldn't complain.
I know. After everything, I'd still be like, "Well, give me a
Maybe
bite of the
I
cheese,
know.
maybe."
Maybe you want some brie.
It looked well paired with that
Some
line.
brie would be so good. Side note, sorry. Can you get me with
Claire can't take it.
No, she
No.
can't.
She goes to try to switch with Phil. Phil says, you would hate this. I don't want you to be here. When really Phil's being a little selfish.
Oh yeah, he was like, "You feel the turbulence." Oh, we got.
Yeah.
She's like,
You
"I
wanna be
don't
back
hear
here."
the seat thing." He's like, "Yeah, heard it. You gotta go now." I'm like, Phil, you're sly.
And Claire eventually finds out not a good moment for Phil. He's got to explain that. And ultimately take the bullet for his wife, because that's
He's such a good husband.
Yeah,
He's
he really
literally
is.
the best husband ever. I feel like he was already a little upset that she took the seat, and then like she was mad at him for getting like the good seat after all. And after she was kind of a little bit rude and selfish, he still was like, "Thank you so much for being so great this weekend. I'll sit here." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll handle this. Yeah. Just handle this.
Yeah.
He's just so sincere and just loves her so much. It's adorable.
I think that comes out in all the episodes. Like, he always, no matter what, his intentions are always so genuine, and that's why I love him.
I
And he's like
know.
one of my favorites. I think he's so funny, and I'm like, dad
he
goals.
is
Like,
my
I hope to be
favorite.
like that.
Definitely
You know
my
what I mean?
favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
He shows me there's hope as an actor who's missed the chance at being a teenage heartthrob. I could still be a TV dad.
TV.
Okay.
TV dads are the best.
Yeah,
you
TV
know?
dads
Coolest
are.
TV
Like,
dad.
honestly. Phil Dunphy, you were the king of the TV dads.
But teenage heartthrobs like Jonathan Taylor Thomas, I mean, they go down in history.
Wow. Okay. See,
I just say it. I'm like a big fan of Jonathan Taylor.
you don't say. I didn't notice. I didn't get that vibe from you at all.
I just like, I don't know, but teenage dads like Bob, or like TV dads Bob Saget, he's probably like one of the most famous
the
TV
most
dads.
famous TV
so
dad.
that would be really cool. So Steve,
Yeah.
I hope you get there someday.
Yeah, I
I
do
will
too.
get there.
Yeah.
I hope I get there too.
Yeah.
I will be
Yeah.
Phil Dunphy in the Modern Family remake. I'm
Oh.
kidding, but I hope that. I just hope that does not happen. In the show like Modern Family, that's also great. In 2024. Moving on. I'll put some money in the bad segue jar. Cam and Mitch throwing a baby shower for Sal, played by Elizabeth Banks. We've seen Sal a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Sal's baby's name is Sammy, and I'm pretty sure
Sammy.
And this is the first we've seen Sammy.
Because we saw her pregnant, right?
Yeah.
We did, yeah.
She was pregnant at that wedding.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm not making that up in my mind. She was pregnant at that wedding.
Their wedding?
Yeah, their wedding. Their
Yeah,
wedding.
yeah.
Sorry.
I was like, what wedding? And
Their wedding.
Okay,
And Mitch's
sure.
wedding at the end of last season.
Yeah.
She was pregnant, so that we're right on par to see a newborn baby and have a baby shower.
And thank the Lord Pepper shows an appearance. I'm obsessed with this character.
Love
He's
Pepper.
amazing.
It makes me want to go home and watch The Birdcage. Do you guys like The Birdcage?
Birdcage is a good film.
Yeah.
It's so good with Robin Williams and Nathan Lane.
Oh.
You have to see it.
Anything
You have to watch it.
anything Robin Williams now, you're just like, well,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Even Centennial Man, you're just like, okay, that's Robin Williams. Pepper played by Nathan Lane, obviously.
Yeah.
So funny.
He always plays a similar character, I
He
feel
does.
like.
He
Yes.
does. He does play really sick. And in life too, like I've seen him on like Ellen or something like doing an interview, and like his like spunk is really similar to all his
like
characters.
very flamboyant
Yeah.
and just like lively.
Yeah.
But in here, he's a little bit more like,
Reserved?
what's pretentious, kind
Yeah.
of. Like,
Oh yeah. What was the Architecture Digest? But you guys wouldn't know that
guys
magazine.
wouldn't
know what that is.
Oh, they wouldn't know Architecture Digest.
Yeah.
But Elizabeth Lang, Sal shows up to the baby shower with the baby, and it looks like she's turned over a new leaf. It's like, I'm not gonna have alcohol because that gets through the system, and I'm breastfeeding, and that's awful. This plastic is really weird. Can't do that. Can't do
makes
this.
her own baby food.
Makes her
Yeah.
own baby food. And they're like, oh, she turned over a new leaf. Nope, she left.
Which did you guys think she really left?
I didn't think she left.
I didn't think she really left.
I'm
But
the
also,
one who got fooled then.
you did, but
I
also-
honestly thought, like, okay, she was a recluse character.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you're
It
right.
would make sense that she would just leave.
I don't know though. Like, leave her child? Is she that?
That's a good group to leave your child with.
I thought that
True.
maybe she like freaked out, but then like she was gonna come back. But then I was like, no, that doesn't make sense. I don't think she would just leave because
No.
it would have been a bigger storyline if they were really to keep this child.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, are they really gonna just give Cam and Mitch a new baby on this show? Right
Yeah.
Well, and one, I forget who said it. You guys were like, "Are they not as
I said that,
shocked?"
yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, that's true." Like,
They weren't freaking out at all.
you might have a baby.
If you had to take care of a brand new baby, you would
For
be
the rest of their
freaking-
life?
Yeah, you would be freaking out. They were acting so calm. Cam was just holding the baby, and they were kind of talking
Yeah.
about what to do, but not freaking out at all. And Cam is like the king of freaking out. So,
so true.
so I'm like, this is not where this is going.
Yeah, that's true. Those are. But the note, when I saw the note that that Mitch found in
Yeah.
the bag, I then was like, "Oh wait, like
Yeah.
how could that even be?" And then when she told us that it was from like her single days, but she would just carry around those
I
notes.
noticed that it was a purse.
Yeah,
I
when
mean-
he was wearing it on his shoulder,
Yeah,
I was for a second, I was like, "What's going on there?"
I did not catch the difference.
Diaper bag should be a lot bigger and like mommy and
it
like
was really
colory.
small.
Should have like all this stuff.
Yeah,
Not that I
mommy and color.
Yeah, I have a lot of.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
So now I know diaper bags, but
Large
double the
and
size
bright.
of a regular purse.
Usually quilted, so like
Different-
not purse-like.
Lots of
something-
space and pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Sal comes back. We find out Sal told John.
Which one was John?
I had no idea.
I assume. Yeah, I don't know. I assume John's the one who said he was gonna go to the Blackhawks game.
Yes, that's what I thought too.
Which makes it
The what? I keep hearing it that way.
I thought so too because she said that she told him and then like she thought of going to the game. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it was him.
possibly. But then that would be even funnier. It's like, well, then you told the person who A is drunkest at the party, B isn't gonna be
Yeah,
there.
that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he said he was leaving. Yeah.
It's like he said he was leaving and never. But she told John. The baby's father is married and plays for the Blackhawks.
Yes.
She's like, I could have Googled that.
I didn't. I went down to the Staples Center.
That's
Yeah.
unfortunate though because it's so sad that she would have even had to Google if he was married or not. You know, it's just,
Yeah.
that made me sad for her.
And first of all, who doesn't Google anyone and everybody that they
That's
ever like? It took
true.
her this
Your
long
baby's
to not
father.
Google. Come on, we're in a generation of everyone's creeping on everyone. You're gonna Google. Yeah, found that weird.
Maybe he doesn't have a Facebook.
Well, he has a Google.
I know.
He has a
He
Google.
probably
He's a
has a
professional.
Wikipedia.
He's a professional athlete. People report on the marital status of a professional athlete.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we wrapped that topic up.
Yeah.
That was my favorite, by the way.
That
That
was
was
so
my
much
favorite
fun.
shower. I thought it was fun. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Also,
agree.
God only does weird baby stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so good.
This is my
And
favorite
also
part.
so true. Never even thought
Never
about those
connected
things.
it.
Yeah,
God's
in
all
one
about-
thought. Yeah.
God's all about doing weird stuff with babies.
I mean, Noah in a basket in like the river.
Not Noah.
Or not Noah.
It's different, but somebody was in a basket on a
The fact
river.
that there was someone in a
Noah
basket.
did something else.
That ain't normal. I ain't about to throw a baby in a basket. I don't know.
Send it down the street.
Yeah, it doesn't
So-
seem like that's.
So Manny's upset because he doesn't want to go to school. He doesn't want to go to school. Jay doesn't care. Gloria informs him that it's not regular school, it's cooking school. Jay cares.
Yeah. Because he needs lasagna. to
Yeah.
eat for dinner.
I've been skipping lunch because of this lasagna.
And
I know that feel.
yeah.
Yeah.
When you're looking forward to a meal that much where you have like next to nothing for lunch because you know how big dinner will be.
Yeah.
And then like it might not happen.
It just gets
I would
pulled
cry.
away.
I would
I'm
cry.
about
Me
to hurt
too.
people.
I'm a foodie. That would be
Lasagna, I would be like, no, someone is getting me lasagna.
Yeah. I don't care what they have to do. Yeah, exactly. But it's for a good reason. He's being bullied, and I didn't like to see him be like when they showed the scene of him actually getting bullied.
It
Like
made me really sad.
me too. I thought it was gonna be like ha ha ha, but like I was like, oh
And then
no,
like
I
that
don't
felt like
like
a
seeing
scene
that.
from like what people thought bullying was in the 90s and the 80s. Like it
Yeah.
felt like such this cruel, like this incredibly cruel, unrealistic bullying that we hear about.
Yeah.
And that our parents thought was happening. Where it's like that I was like, that seems strange that no one's stepping in and just like
It is a little like old school,
yeah, like it's a
like
real old school,
yeah.
just bad to be bad for bad's sake bullying.
Well, and I also feel like at this point, Manny's in high school. He's learning how to drive, so he's probably like a sophomore,
Yeah.
15 or
Yeah.
16. And I think that if he were to be bullied, it would have been way earlier on in his life. So it's kind of a little unrealistic that he's getting bullied so like late in the
And
game.
he's getting
You know what
bullied
I
by-
mean?
And then he doesn't, yeah, because usually when you get like if you're gonna get bullied, like at least nowadays, like I feel like a lot of teens like know where to go, what to do,
Yeah,
how to
how
handle
to
the bullying,
act,
and like it's not
yeah.
easy, but they do start to learn. And he's
'Cause you're
such
more
like
mature.
yeah, and he's a very mature young person that you would think he would be like, well, I understand he could be in a weird spot, and that's
Yeah.
why he's doing this to me.
Yeah.
But instead,
Although I take an
What?
issue with the word bullying, that in that instance, like no, this person assaulted me. Like I think we should just.
that's
Whereas
a
like
good
bullying
yeah.
is like a pestering like attack,
And
like
it's
a
usually
pesting
verbal.
yeah, like verbal and mental
Yeah.
attack. Where like no, that man like struck me with
Yeah.
his hand. Like,
yeah, different
he
level,
assaulted
different
me.
level. yeah,
Definitely.
exactly.
Yeah, it was
he's-
not fun to watch. It
Oh, he's
really
a
wasn't.
he's a big bully, a big bully who goes to a cooking class with me.
Whose school is cooking? I'm also a little bit
I
confused
know.
about that.
It
Did you
just
guys
looks
have
like a
cooking?
separate culinary.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
it's
okay.
like a
more
night
like
class,
culinary
yeah.
classes.
Oh,
yeah.
But with
okay.
all like people his age.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's for like high school students.
Some like credit or something that would go towards like extracurricular.
Or just, like,
Or they're
night
just paying
class.
for it, yeah.
Oh,
just paying
okay.
a night class for Manny to learn to cook.
Because he loves it so much.
Oh yeah.
Manny strikes me as somebody who loves to cook.
Yeah.
He's gonna make such a good husband.
Yeah.
And Jay initially puts up the hands
yeah.
and has him start punching. Manny's a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah, exactly.
And it takes Gloria to help him. Like, no, this is how you throw the punch. You put your shoulder behind it. I have one impression for this whole show. It's Gloria.
It's good.
And I like it. Yeah.
She's the hardest one to do,
yeah.
I feel like.
I agree.
And
Did you guys think that he was going to actually go and punch and punch the kid and like stick up for himself, or did you think he was not going to?
no, I think Manny's grown to be a man of action.
I
Yeah.
thought he would.
I didn't
Yeah.
think he was going to. I kind of thought Jay would get out of the car and just like
I see that, too.
intimidate him.
I
like,
thought,
say
yeah.
something to him.
I don't know, I
Like, I
thought
don't think
that-
Jay was gonna hit him,
Right.
the child kid.
Yeah.
But like he was gonna like verbally say stuff.
Yeah, the threat of an adult.
Yeah.
But I do like how not one-dimensional they made a bully. Like, oh, he's just a bully, and that's a write-off for a character. Where it's like, no, this is someone who made a mistake
Yeah,
and
he just
lashed
had an
out,
issue.
like had an issue, and the way it was handled was very funny because Manny just fight or flight.
Yeah.
The
I
title
knew
of the
it was going to
episode.
backfire because I don't think violence is ever the answer. It's
Right.
cliches that, like...
And Modern Family would teach us all that.
Yeah, if anything, they're going to teach us that. I thought that maybe when the kid was coming up behind Manny and he was like, oh, I have something, I thought like maybe Gloria went to this kid and like was like, oh, I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to tell him and put him in his place. So I'm like, oh, maybe he's already got like
That's
the
true.
talking to from Gloria. And then, yeah, Manny just kicked into
punched him in the nose. Made him
And the
bleed.
tart
And-
goes down. It was an apple tart, right?
No.
Apple
Yeah.
crumb?
It looked
Apple tart
really
crumb? I don't remember. Is that a
Looked
thing?
good.
I don't think that's a thing.
looked like a
No, it
good
can't
pie.
be.
I don't know what it was, but it looked
Awesome.
good. He's in
Whatever it
class. It
was.
must be good.
And Jay steps out to reward his son, and then ultimately was like, oh.
Yeah.
Do you know whose fault this is? Gloria's.
Your
Gloria.
mother.
Yeah.
I like how close they've gotten, Jay and Manny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice to see their connection.
Yeah.
Gloria's your bully. They approach Gloria.
I would not approach Gloria.
I would.
There, you know what it would take? Nothing. It would take. There's nothing that would make me go and approach
No, I
Gloria.
mean, she's always going to win. She has such a strong personality, and she's so loud and aggressive that it's just, there's no winning with her. And
No.
I mean, they both love her, so it's whatever.
Even walking out, like you could hear them like trying to like justify, like, oh yeah, no, we
No,
will
man.
get. You'll have to take the pineapple off, and then she's like, I don't want it. And they're like, well, we got our way. We made our point. And it's like,
We're gonna
yeah,
eat the pizza,
Pizza
in the car.
yeah,
Guys.
Like they're winning, but they're
Yeah.
not eating at a table. in
right.
their house.
That's their win. Oh,
Sheila's never seen a sophomore get bullied.
is that what Sheila
She
said?
agrees with you guys.
Okay,
Never seen it.
yeah.
And by sophomore, you kind of had to figure it out. Unless you're new to that high school, maybe.
I feel like
We had no bullying going on in our
We
entire
didn't.
high school. It was like middle school, and
Yeah, I was just gonna say middle school. I feel like was when people got
Wisconsin
bullied.
might be a little more innocent than
Fair enough.
California.
I always forget
So-
they live in LA.
Speaking
Oh
of
yeah, actually, now that you just said that, I'm like, wait. Oh, they
Yeah,
do.
they
That
do.
is weird.
Speaking
Yeah.
of innocent, Luke.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Luke, he had a girlfriend this whole time?
I know we
Rose.
just said last week,
Rose, yeah.
or didn't we say it like a few weeks ago about him getting a girlfriend?
Yeah, like a couple weeks because he's
Yeah.
gonna have and then he's got an off-screen girlfriend.
Uh-huh.
And he
But you know how you are that age? Like a girlfriend is like you could be like a couple
Talking.
days, or like you're texting and like you saw each other like you're
Yeah.
like, oh, we're dating, you know? And it's
Yeah.
like different.
And it was Rose. Sorry.
Rose, yeah.
Rose, and then
Rose.
Sarah's the girl he likes
Yes,
now.
Sarah's the girl he wants to hang out with now. And it was Amir asking for a ride. Haley says no. Alex says yes. We're gonna... And it's like, are you with Rose? No, Rose is cray. What? Are you gonna tell...
Which, by the way, I feel like was so true that they were like, oh, because she like turned you down or did something to stand up for herself, she's automatically crazy. I feel like that's so true.
Yeah.
In like a
I
young,
like what they said.
in like a young boy's mind, that's if they do
They
anything.
said to challenge you.
Yeah, to challenge you, she's just crazy because it's so easy to call a girl crazy.
I think a lot of people I would be willing to say that over 50% of people will call their ex crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? For some, like,
Yeah.
yes, you guys broke up, so means
usually-
you had an argument, but like that doesn't mean that that person is actually
usually go-
crazy.
And sometimes they are.
And
but
sometimes they are.
But for the most part, I just
No.
think
No.
it's just like a scapegoat.
Yeah, it's a write-off.
I usually
Yeah.
go out of my way to try not to do write-offs like that unless they're that
Unless it's legit.
of a sane and reasonable explanation. Like, no,
Yeah.
she was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean she was crazy? Well, she emptied my entire room into her truck, and then she drove her truck off a bridge,
Did
and
that
she
happen?
dove out of the... God, no.
Okay.
I'm just thinking of the craziest
that-
example I could think of.
Yeah.
So clearly, I'm crazy. My,
I'm gonna come over here with you guys. I don't know what's happening.
my mind can go to that place so quickly.
Yikes.
But, like, that's crazy,
I'm
but
scared.
if a girl challenges you, that's not crazy. It wasn't working out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that one. That's...
But, like we didn't fit, like our personality.
Right, it wasn't. Yeah.
Or we were different people.
We wanted different things. You know?
We were different people.
Yeah.
You can never go wrong with that explanation.
That's true.
Because that's not incorrect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're the same person.
It's quite valid. You
nodding.
are two different people. Thank you.
Or in Luke's case, like I'm 15 and I just want to date someone new.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. That's also true. And so sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it was pretty cruel of him to just not tell her.
Yeah.
Like, that's the opposite of being a man.
True, but I have to say, don't look at me a different way. When I was younger, like, that's terrifying to like work up how you're gonna say like no, like next thing you know you're like, oh, it's 2 weeks and we haven't seen each other, but maybe we're dating. Not a personal story. No, it isn't but like that. But that would be something I could see myself doing because I'd be so nervous. Like, how do you do it? You don't want to make them feel bad.
Feelings. You never want to do that. But I just think
that hurts people more.
It
and
does.
then it's just
You're
going to
right.
bother you for like those 2 weeks rather than have you be bothered by what you did for a day. You know?
The responsible thing. And I think, and that's why the girls take his phone and they're like, oh, we are going to show you.
I was glad they did it.
We are going to treat this woman with love and respect and give her a breakup text, which, by the way, just as a public service announcement to anyone watching or listening, do not break up with a girl via text.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're 15 or 28. I love how that's my whole range.
Yeah.
I don't care how old you are.
Like 15, you are young, but then you're just setting yourself up for like bad habits.
Bad habits of like, oh, this is the only way I know how to do it. Yeah.
Text them, say, hey, I'd like to meet up with you tonight, and then tell them tonight.
Just say we need to talk, and they'll know it's coming.
Yeah.
Right. Every girl, they're going to read into it like 10 ways. You got to know when you see that text. Yikes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what annoys me about text messages.
Yeah, because it can be
Or the way people,
you interpret them, like,
or the way people use text messages, where like you have the ability to just write, to really gather your thoughts and put it in 2 sentences.
Yeah.
Then you can sell me everything you need to say. People don't typically do that.
Yeah, I write full sentences. I can't shorten my thoughts.
It's pretty much just overtaking phone calls. But Rose sends a scathing review of pretty much Haley and Alex's rejection text.
Yeah.
But either way, she was going to be upset.
Yeah.
So she wasn't going to respond with a pleasant.
She wasn't going to be like, why, thank you.
Yeah, I totally
How kind,
understand.
sir.
Yeah. No.
That could happen over if you called.
Yeah.
If you called, because then people can hear the sincerity in your voice.
That's true, yeah.
Luke didn't do that. Haley and Alex definitely didn't do that. And now Luke is not with either of these women.
No,
good.
because Rose forwarded the text to Sarah.
Yeah.
I hope he learned his lesson.
Do you think he did?
No.
No.
And then he can hang out with the neighbor.
Yeah. And then I think...
Tammy.
Oh, yeah.
But I just want to say that I really liked how Haley and Alex kind of bonded in this episode because we never really get to see them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they thought the same, which is so rare.
Yeah, that was pretty rare that they were always on the same page.
They never agree.
That's why I love at the end, they were texting through his phone, they were like, yeah, maybe we need our own dates. They're like, yeah. I like them being together. I like when everyone is sort of like on the same page and getting along. I think it's fun. Makes the episodes fun.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Well, I think that about covers it.
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Please hit the like button on whatever platform you're using us on. And where can the people find you?
You can find me on
I'm sorry.
No, sorry.
My indiscriminate point. Panel. That was one.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Britta_Garsow.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Carli_Garsow.
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Nicholas Grava.
And you can find me on Twitter and only Twitter at Steve Kaufmann. That's Kaufmann. This Sunday, I'm actually hosting wrestling pay-per-views, Fastlane. So for those of you who like Modern Family but also like wrestling, I'm your bridge. Got this. Good night, guys. Thank you.
See ya.
Thanks.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.